Don't attach me to your name, but all they wanted was morphine. All they wanted was morphine, and you were always a distraction. It was never gonna last, and they will always be the passion. They're just trying to get reactions from me. Whoa. I'm unfazed, I'm unfazed, I'm unfazed, I'm unfazed.
What's the deal? You already know what the fuck it is. But if you don't, get familiar, right?
Man, these bros so fake, but mistakes, time to part ways.
You getting set up good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Turn this down. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Let me give everybody a shout out. What's up, Moon Spirit? What's up, Selena? Selena and then this bitch. What's up, Dizzy? What's up, student teacher? What's up, what is it? Separus Lee? Well, I just call you Sealy. You know what I mean? If I mispronounced it. What's up, Nisi? What's the deal? What's the deal? So we just in here briefly. You know what I mean? We're just gonna hit a couple topics and we gonna get the fuck on. You know what I mean? There's no need for us to really build too deep. Because hopefully everybody's out there putting in that work. You know what I mean? We talk about this shit a little bit too often for people to still be confused about what to do, what's going on. But just in case you are, just in case it's just still not clicking to you about what this shit is about, then allow me to give you the quickening, right? Hold on, let me put on something a little bit more. Yeah, here we go, a little bit more sinister. Put on something a little bit more sinister. All right. So this random talk is dedicated to, again, anybody who is not catching up, anybody who still is in any type of confusion about what's really going on in the world, what's going on within them, what's going on outside of them, yada yada yada. Right? We talk about this shit all the time. Now, recently, I have been studying, of course, what we deem as the devil or what we deem as Satan or Saturn, right? But not only from an American perspective, but also from a universal perspective. What do I mean by universal perspective? This is why I'm going to start to introduce new forms and new types of music, not only being produced from myself, but other types of dark, demonic music that is not created in America. It may be created in Asia. It may be created in Africa. So what I attempt to do going forward is to not just stick to the chocolate screw, not just stick to the street hip hop, but hip hop from all around the world, hip hop from a universal perspective, right? Because this hardcore ratchet music, even though, you know, us from America, we may not see the rest of the world in this light because it's not shown, right? There are Satanists, even if they don't consider themselves Satanists or devil worshippers, because I don't consider myself neither one of those either. However, that energy is potent all around the world, and it's clear as you start to expand your ear, your listening ear, your musical ear, when you start to tune into different styles of music that is not mainstream. So we're not talking about the mainstream. We're not talking about what the majority populace is into. We're talking about strictly the underworld, or in other words, Saturn. Now again, what is this connection with Satan and Saturn, right? Because we hear this all the time. Like I'm pretty sure this is not the first time you heard that. But you don't really see too many people going into detail about, well, what is the actual connection besides Satan being like a modification of the word Saturn or vice versa. You don't really, not too many people go in depth. And I'm not going to go too in depth here, but just to give you a basic understanding of why people say this. Saturn as a planet, at night, if you wanted to know what time it was when the sun had set, you would look towards Saturn, right? Because Saturn is all about magnetism. So Saturn is like the dark sun or the night sun. So if you wanted to know what time it was when there was no sun in the sky, you would look towards Saturn. And Saturn would always be what you would look towards, or what you would look up towards if you want to know what time it was. Hence, while all of the gods or deities associated with Saturn have something to do with time. You know what I mean? For you to work with the number 8, or for you to work with Saturn, enhances your time management. If you want to enhance your time management, that's the energy of the number 8, or energy of Saturn or Satan. Satan has always been associated with mathematics, to enhance your mathematical ability, or in other words, to make that more simple, your engineering ability. There's a lot of artists out here, right? There's a lot of people who can do amazing things on a creative level. But when we're talking about innovation, when we're talking about builders, you know, the Nikola Teslas, the Albert Einsteins, right? The Benjamin Banekers, right? The inventors of our time, the ones who can actually take base material and create something out of nothing. To start off with lead, or material that has no value, or that is in abundance everywhere. You can find lead anywhere, everywhere, and turn it into something as valuable as gold, right? This is talking about the number 22, or the master builder. You add 2 plus 2, you get 4. And we know about the master number 44, which is the number of the master healer. One does not become a master healer without going through hardship and being able to understand the hardship that they are experiencing, and be able to extract the wisdom from the hardship. And that's why those who are built for this lifestyle constantly project themselves into what we consider the dark side. Not because they are necessarily dark by nature, just they understand that all of the jewels are hidden in the depths of the earth. So you're not going to be able to extract those type of jewels without putting yourself into some type of situation that allows you to heal yourself. But it may be perceived from other people as something negative. But Saturn in and of itself, negative energy, feminine energy, is also considered negative, which is why we exist in times where a lot of men just don't understand women. They're making a conscious decision, you know, to kind of take the woman out of the equation. But again, religion has been doing this for many, many years, many, many aeons, right? So we are now moving past that, where women refuse to be, you know, belittled, because they understand, like, yo, we may be smaller, we may be physically weaker, but our intelligence is that of a divine nature. And I absolutely agree. So we are in times where the proper information and the proper lifestyle has been given to anybody who chooses to take it and to live it out. The information is now here. It's all about, what are we going to do with it? Now, this is why I'm going into the 22, because that's the master number 11. The master number 11 is to hear the call, or to hear the awakening, right? That's a master number 11. Now that we have all heard the awakening, now that we all are here, and we understand these metaphysical things, we understand these esoteric things, we understand these occult topics, now what are you going to build based off of the information you have acquired? Now we're moving into the phase of the master builder. How are you going to take these base materials and create something that's valuable for something that is seen as invaluable by the majority of the world? This is the whole context of the dark side, is you are taking things that are invaluable to the ignorant, they care nothing about, and you are using this information, you are using this lifestyle to create for yourself something outside of the matrix. Why? And why does it have to be created outside of the matrix? Why? Because the majority of the people don't align with that way of thinking. So you're not about to go, let's just say, for example, into corporate America with your new age philosophy, then they accept it for what it really is. It's not going to happen. They already have their structure set up the way that they want it to work. So you're not about to come in there rearranging and changing anything, because they have already built. And if you follow what I'm saying. So in order for us, outside of the mainstream, outside of the matrix, to build, we cannot build in the midst of those who do not understand the magic and the power that is possessed by those who choose to carry this lifestyle. The lifestyle of the dark sun, or the darkened sun, the 1111, right? So you're not going to be able to create or manifest amongst those who don't truly accept the reality. This is why Saturn is placed an emphasis in the night, because when in the night, no one can really see what's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on. Most people just assume, but they don't really know. So therefore, those who come into power and understand these metaphysical, esoteric, occult principles can therefore utilize their magic with those who understand and those who accept that reality as truth. If you do not accept the reality as truth, you cannot utilize the power. Because, for example, if you think Jesus is fake, like I don't care about this white image of Jesus, this is a creation by man, it's not going to have any influence over you. However, even if this is a creation by man, there are millions upon millions upon millions of people who give their energy to this man-made manifestation, and therefore they have given something that did not have life. So as much as we say like that the image of Jesus is not real, it has become real because millions upon millions of people are giving that spirit and energy. So that spirit was created by a man, but it has taken on a life of its own because of all the people that follow. And again, I'm just using Jesus. It can be any deity of any region or any religion. As long as people are giving their energy to these energies or to these spirits or deities, they will always exist, whether we agree with the origins or not. Something that did not have life has now been given life. But that is the power of man and woman, the power of enchantment. We can give things life that didn't have life before, as we said, turning that lead into gold, turning something that is invaluable to most people and giving it value. See, most people don't see the value in things until it becomes gold. They don't look at that lead as something valuable, but of course they're going to jump on it once it becomes valuable. Like, they don't give a fuck about the dude in the studio all day and all night recording his music or her music. However, when that person produces a hit track or something that can move the crowd, now all of a sudden, the phone never stops ringing, because now they didn't tapped into the dark side for real, and it connects with the people, with the streets. The deeper you are connected with so-called Satanism or the dark side, that is the same energy of the people. There is a base of people who resonate with this energy regardless of what they call themselves. Some people say hip-hop, some people say Satanism, some people call it demons, demonic spirits. There's so many titles and avatars of this energy, but essentially this is Saturn, the energy of the timekeeper. So when you embrace the dark side, that means you become a timekeeper, a keeper of time. When you look at DJs in hip-hop spinning the disc, They are manipulating time, which starts to manipulate a person's mind, which makes that type of music psychedelic. Hip-hop can be psychedelic. Rock music can be psychedelic. Blues can be psychedelic. Most types of music can be psychedelic because you become the keeper of time. Time management, mentally and physically. You also become familiar with working out of the mud. We hear this in hip-hop all the time, right? I got to get it out the mud. I got to get it out the dirt. What does that mean? That means you are using natural resources that is in abundance. Like anybody can go up and pick up some dirt. Anybody can go pick up some mud or whatever. But to most people, these things have no value. You can give value to that mud. You can give value to that dirt by giving it a shape and structure. For example, mud and dirt can be shaped into something, let's just say like this. You can create some type of shape or figure out of mud or dirt, sticks, just natural resources, right? You can create something like this as an example from natural resources. Let's just say you were somewhere out in the woods and you wanted to tap into your magical ability, but you had no resources, you had no tools. What would you do? You would use the tools that's available to you. What's going on? Huh? Give me 1 second, hold on. Come on, look. Oh, you about to take that back, man. You about to take your car back. So, y'all think I got distracted? I didn't get distracted. We're talking about the timekeeper, right? We're talking about Saturn. So, it don't matter what you consider this to be. The energy of Saturn will be reflected in this lifestyle. And most people resonate with the energy of Saturn because it deals with your primitive or your primordial forces or your sexuality. So that's why when you see Saturn, you see the image of Baphomet, or you see the image of an androgynous spirit, a masculine and a feminine spirit. Now you can interpret that as the masculine and the feminine abilities that is present within man and woman. There's so many ways that you can interpret it, right? It all depends on your perspective. There's no right or wrong way to interpret Saturn. So as I was saying with the example, if you had access to no resources, you were just somewhere out in the desert or you were somewhere out in the forest, right? You had no access to natural materials. You can create something like this from natural materials and enchant this and give it life from natural resources. So although it's just made from mud, sticks, dirt, leaves, whatever you have available to you, you can give it life. And now it becomes an avatar or an ally for you on the other side, or as we call the astral plane or the spirit plane. There's so many ways of saying this. So you being able to create something like this from your natural resources that you have available to you, then you activate your natural ability of enchantment to give this life. That is your true magic. See, we exist in times where a lot of people get caught up in tools, which are magic wands, which are crystals and all these things. And the tools are lovely if you have them. But don't think for a minute, if you don't possess any tools, that you don't have any power. The power is coming from within you. It is through your power that allows you to enchant. It is through your power that allows you to put natural resources together in order to create something like this. This is the energy of Saturn. Saturn is the Ptah of the pantheon. And we know we think about Ptah or we think about Enki. These are the master builders, the Sheikh Khumsun, right? Not Khnum in Egypt. These are the gods that shaped and molded man, right? They made man out of clay and they gave man a body. Then another spirit gave the body life, enchantment, right? So this is all throughout mythology. That's why you have deities of the forest, you have deities of the desert, you have deities of the rainforest, you have deities of the jungle, right? There's deities from all around the world. Again, that's why I always recommend get you an encyclopedia of spirits so that you can get familiar with the various spirits that are available to you to work with. So no matter what environment you may be in, there's a deity or a spirit or an intelligence that you can connect with that can assist you on the other side, give you access to information that you didn't have access to, have conversations with you that you may not be able to have conversations with yourself about or other people about. This is a true energy of magic. We are dealing with an intelligence that goes beyond the physical body. Whether you want to call it your higher self, you want to call it God, you want to call it Jesus, Buddha, Allah, man, woman, whatever the fuck you choose to call it. Let's just not get too caught up in the titles, because when we get too caught up in the titles, it creates separation. Oh, you don't think you're a god, so I can't fuck with you. Or you don't think you're a king or a queen. You still operate on the level of nigga, and bitch. And not understanding that even those titles are divine titles. The Nagas and the bitches are just the dogs from Sirius. The Nagas or the Nigers or the Netzaruls and the bitches, which are the guardians or the energy of Saturn. Right? So even if you operate on that low level or that satanic level, on that worldly level, that is still a divine being. We all have certain attributes. Some people out here are good at creating income for themselves. Some people are good at getting men and women. Some people are good at building things from scratch. Some people are good at enchantment. Some people are good at magic, sorcery, necromancy, communicating with spirits. Some people are good shamans, good healers in the medical profession, professionally, and on the alternative medicine level. On like a Dr. Sebi level, you got the Dr. Sebis out there, then you got the traditional scientists and medical professionals or practitioners out there. Everybody specializes in something. Everybody has a personality. So whatever it is that you specialize in, that is your introduction into the magical realm. Because everything can be looked at as magic, just like everything can be looked at as science. Everything is magic and science. So based on the thing that you are naturally drawn to, that is how you connect to the magic realm or the ancestral realm. Not trying to do something that you have no resonance with. To do what you are naturally drawn to and to find the spirituality in that. Right? So therefore, once you identify what you are naturally drawn to, that you don't have to ask nobody for anything. Right? You don't have to ask nobody for anything. You just understand this is the way my mind works. And based on the way my mind works, this is how I have to view magic and science based on the way my mind works. Because you may not be a mathematician. You may not be a scientist. Right? You may not be a mathematician. You may not be a scientist. You may not be an engineer. You may not be a person that's good at technology. You may not understand any of that. You may just understand intuition. You may be a person that can interpret subtle messages in the universe. A dream interpreter, right? Somebody who can interpret dreams. You may not understand technology. You may not understand anything that has anything to do with anything of that realm. You're like, what does that have to do with me? It may not have anything to do with you. But if you understand intuition, if you understand how to interpret your dreams, how to interpret subconscious messages, that makes you a practitioner of magic. Right? Hopefully, y'all understanding me here, so that there's no confusion of, like, just because you don't understand my words, because there's many people who I just may be too advanced. Not because I'm arrogant, or egotistical just because I've been in the game 10 years. And I keep saying this, right? I got a decade in, so of course some of the concepts that I speak on is not going to be on an introductory level, right? It may be a little advanced for those newcomers or beginners. I may speak about things that may be a little bit advanced, but of course you have the ability to catch up if you choose. But specifically on this video, this is for the ones who you may not have time to watch all the videos. You may not desire to watch all the videos, but you do have a desire to work your magic. So this is me giving you insight into how you can work your personal magic, why you have to value whatever it is that you're good at, whatever it is that you specialize in. There is a magical essence to whatever you specialize in. There's a scientific way to tap into whatever you specialize in. So you have your worldly gain and you have your spiritual gain. On the worldly level, you can utilize what you're into to generate a living for yourself. Then on the spirit realm, you can use it to gain infinite wisdom. Magic and science are always connected. Now, of course, the mainstream tries to keep these things separate. But once you bring these things back to life, when they can coexist together instead of they're being like contrast to each other. If they can coexist together instead of being contrast to each other, then you have truly found the secret to how to live your life. Because don't get confused by the illusions like anybody can be anything. It sounds good, but that's not the way it works. There's a reason why you're short or tall or big or small, black or white, and everything in between. There is a reasoning. None of this is random, but some people think, because some people don't believe in a higher power, so people think that these things are random. We have no purpose, everything is random. But for those of us who understand magic, we understand that the universe is based on the golden ratio, right? Everything that manifests through the golden ratio. So for all my people, all my law of attraction practitioners, because I don't think they really speak about the golden ratio and what that has to do with manifestation. You manifest through the golden ratio. Nothing can manifest without going through the golden ratio, which is sacred mathematics. Nothing can manifest without going through that purification stage. It has to align with the golden ratio. Nothing can manifest without aligning with the golden ratio. Everything in nature has a signature of the golden ratio. Everything in nature has a signature of that spiral. That golden ratio is a spiral, not a straight line, not a square, not a circle. It is a spiral, just like you see the spiral on the deers and the goats, right? As you just saw with the devil card. You see the spirals. See the spirals. That is the golden ratio. Everything that manifests has to come through the golden ratio. So the more you understand the golden ratio, which is highly technical, highly mathematical, but if you can see the magic in that scientific equation or that mathematical equation, then you have tapped into your greatness. So for anybody, so for whatever you desire in this life, in the physical plane, it must come through the golden ratio. How does something come from your mind into the physical plane through the golden ratio? How does sound turn into matter through the golden ratio? Because all sound creates images. You should know this, right? When you chant mantras, om or om, clean, stream, whatever, right? All those produce images. They produce images. When you chant, you are producing images that are in alignment with the hertz or the frequency of the mantra. So anything, let's just say 432 hertz, just as an example. So 432 hertz equates to a pictorial image and also equates to a sound. So 432 hertz can manifest into a picture as well as a sound, because they are all one and the same. Matter and sound are not separate. They are one and the same. So that mantra that resonates with 432 hertz also resonates with a picture that resonates with something physical, a physical picture. It may be sacred geometry. We know that sounds produce sacred geometrical patterns or figures, right? So you can say a mandala, just as an example. So you got 432 hertz, you got a mantra, then you have the mandala that is produced from the mantra. And if you were to gaze into the mandala that is produced, let's just say you draw out the mandala that is produced from the mantra. So you are chanting the mantra. You got 432 hertz playing in the background. You also are drawing the mandala that is connected to 432 hertz. And when you stare into this mandala, now you're programming yourself from a subconscious level by staring into the imagery. The subconscious mind can be programmed with imagery. So now you have control over the imagery that you are programming into your subconscious mind based on the things that you are trying to create, manifest, and desire. Right? Hopefully you are following along with what's being said, right? So, mantra, 432 hertz or sound frequency, then you have the pictorial image. They're all one and the same. This is magic and science as one thing instead of separate things, right? So if you can understand that connection, you can understand how sound becomes matter through the golden ratio, which puts everything into mathematical proportion. Mathematical proportion, right? That's what the golden ratio does. It puts everything into mathematical proportion. So if anything is off, so let's just say, let me give you an example. For those who know about finger tutting, right? So you see it's all about angles. So if you see my hand, this is off. So if I was to do this, you see that this is off. It's not until I straighten it out like this. Now you see that right angle is being produced. And this is for anybody who dance. Some people see dance as something completely artistic, but it is based in mathematics. It's all about angles and vantage points. For all my dancers out there, you understand that. That's why you have to be trained. That's why you have to have structure. But if you're just doing anything random and wild, it's not going to have any structure. But once you start to structure and give things structure, you see, when I get the alignments on point, it looks good, even if I'm not doing much. Just by me having my mathematical proportions, just by me having the proportions right. Right? The difference between this and this. Just by me having the proportions right makes it look good. So I cannot know what the fuck I'm doing. Let's just say I'm just practicing. Right? I'm just practicing, not really doing much. I'm just freestyling. But I got my angles on point. If your angles are on point, it looks great. Somebody's going to stop and like, yo, what is that? Because you can't deny the angles. Like, yo, his mathematics are on point. Right? You're like, yo, that mathematics is on point. Like, holy shit. Mathematics and magic, or science and magic, is one and the same. And the moment you view these things as interconnecting dimensions in the same reality, then you can understand the secrets of magic and science, technology, right? So, y'all get the point, right? Again, we don't have to be here too long. So unless anybody has any questions, let me show you this image one more time. You know? This will give y'all a perspective. So obviously you see Saturn's rings. You see Saturn's rings. You see the goat, right? Then you see the dick and the balls. You see the dick and the balls. You can say being penetrated by the pussy. The pussy is being penetrated by the dick and the balls. You see the people within the balls. You know, it's very, very, very direct stuff. That's why I like this deck. I like the Thoth deck because it's very direct. It ain't really too much hidden symbology or symbolism. But there is plenty of hidden symbolism. So these are, they are things, or in other words, There are things that stand out, then there are things that don't stand out. Right? You got things that stand out, then you got things that don't stand out. Like most people probably didn't notice this on the go. You probably noticed the eye, you noticed the spirals, but you probably didn't notice this. Right? He's wearing, you know, flowers on his head, which has a deeper symbolism, which we're not going to get into now. So there are things that are symbolic and hidden, then there are things that are very out in the open. So again, the purpose of this video was to give everybody an introduction to what the dark side is, or from an astrological perspective, from a worldly perspective, from a mathematical perspective, and from a scientific perspective. And we blend all these together to identify as magical practitioners or practitioners. All right, so let me see where we at with it. Let me see. So let me shout out everybody. What's up, Aiden? What's up, King? What's up, Trey? Trey has sold his soul to the devil for a small price. Good luck with that, man. I don't know, for whatever reason, people just fucking, I don't know, motherfuckers just, I guess that's the thing, you know, to sell your soul to the devil. I guess that's the thing, as if the devil is not the same thing as you. I don't know. But again, that's why you have various forms of Satanism. You got people who look at Satan as a mathematical equation. Then you got people who look at Satan as a supernatural deity. So all these people who looking at Satan as a supernatural deity, you're no better than a person worshiping Jesus, knowing damn well that imagery is not real. You know what I mean? So if you want to put Satan up here and you're right here, and you got to sell your soul to get up here, not realizing that you are already up there and Satan is right here. But for whatever reason, motherfuckers just want to do that shit. So to each his own. But you know, hopefully you know what the fuck you doing. Because if you're just doing that shit just to sound cute, you wasting your time. You know what I mean? Again, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not gonna fucking like, yeah, that's what's up. I don't think you know what you're really doing. But whatever. You know, to each his own. What do I think about Heaven's Gate cult? I have no idea who those people are, and I don't care about them. I don't care about any cult, because they don't have nothing to do with me. And I mind my business, basically. I mind my business. I'm not here to expose what another energy is doing. Whatever everybody else is doing is their business. I don't get involved in it. Why? Because I wouldn't want anybody to be involved in what the fuck I'm doing either, because it's pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm not the person to judge nobody, because I know my life is filled with craziness. So I'm not getting into nobody else's business, because I'm not there, so I personally have no idea what's truly going on. Honestly. Let's see where we at. What's up, White Silver? What's up, Steve Rodriguez? No, I'm back in Vegas. I'm back in Vegas. Let me see. Been seeing 44 every day. Don't just see. See, that's okay. Well, I guess it's a fitting time to speak about this. There's a lot of people that see a lot of numbers. Don't just see the numbers, activate the numbers. Oh, I see this. Oh, I saw 1111. I saw 222. I saw 333. So what that you saw it? Did you activate it, motherfucker? See, motherfuckers did you activate the number when you saw it? Motherfuckers don't even know how to activate the numbers. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't allow these low-level spiritualists and so-called occultists to game you up to thinking that just because you see in the numbers that some special shit is going on. Activate the numbers. Don't just see them. Activate them. They all have an intelligence. I've been told y'all about supreme mathematics. Been telling y'all about the supreme alphabet. Been telling y'all how to break numbers down and how to break words down and connect them with astrology, planetary energies. I've been talking about that. But I keep hearing people like, I see 444. Well, if you know 4 is Rahu, why are you seeing Rahu? And what does that mean for you? What position is your Rahu in? Oh, you don't know that though, right? But you satisfied with seeing these numbers. This is why I'm going to keep hitting motherfuckers in the chest till you get it right. Fuck what you see. What did you activate and what position is it in your chart? What position is your Rahu? What position is your Jupiter? What position is your Mercury? And what does that mean for you? What house is it in? So when you see it, what does that mean for you? But if you don't know that background information, it doesn't mean anything. You're just assuming. You have no actual fact. Oh, I just saw it, but you don't know why you're seeing it. And you don't know what it means. So what was the point of seeing something that you don't understand? What does that do for you if you don't understand what you're seeing? But you know, that's why I'm here. I'm here to make the proper correction so that y'all don't wander off into wasteland and wonder why. Or you end up like these other fucking demon worshiping motherfuckers fucked up out here because they sold their souls to the devil not even knowing what the devil was. And they're just giving their energy to the facade of something that they believe to be real and wonder why their life is fucked up. Anyway, where we at with it? How can your consciousness expand while selling your soul, which is used to connect you with higher entities? So I guess that's a response to the dude I was talking about. What's up, Solomon? What's up with the Venus retrograde? I'm not even into it, honestly. Again, I'm just not that dude. I know Venus is in retrograde, but if you ask me, did I care? No, I don't. I don't care. Because again, once you live this lifestyle, it's just second nature. It doesn't. You don't look at these things as events anymore. You just look at it like it's just a certain cycle. So Venus retrograde just denotes a certain cycle, and it just you know plot your activities based on the cycle. You know what I mean? You don't really look at it as a big deal. It's just that if you are a true time master, you understand cycles. Small cycles, day-to-day cycles. You understand planetary hours. You understand planetary days. You understand planetary weeks. You understand planetary cycles, the cycles of the planets. This is all about understanding cycles. This is the energy of Saturn, right? So when planets go retrograde, you don't get tight or you don't get big in your ego. You just look at it as a cycle that we all have to go through. It's a cycle that we travel through. It's not necessarily something to get excited or upset about. It's just a cycle. Observe it, experiment with it. Do you know what your Venus is in? Is your Venus retrograde in your chart? So if you don't even understand your own personal Venus in your own chart, why does Venus retrograde even matter to you if you don't understand your own Venus and the dynamics that plays out in your own personal life? Because that's truly what's going to be affected. It's your Venus that's going to be affected versus this is just what's happening in the world. No, it's going to affect your alignments differently than it's going to affect the next person's alignments. So if you don't understand your alignments, then you're not going to understand Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, if you don't understand what it means in your chart already. So that's my thing. Understand your chart. Don't worry about the Venus retrograde. Understand your Venus and your chart. And everybody can get their chart done for free, so there is no excuse. But if you want some real in-depth work done, then you can come to me. I charge, of course. But if you really want to understand the depths of your chart, I can do it. But if you don't want to pay, you can do it your goddamn self. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. This is what I mean by people they're just in tune with this shit, but they don't even understand why they say what they say. But again, this is why I'm here to make the necessary corrections. Coming from an OG, right? Coming from somebody that's over 25 or somebody who's been in this game since they was a teenager. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of teenagers that watch, you know what I mean? So I was y'all age watching the big homies just like y'all are. I was y'all age watching the big homies getting my mind right, listening to the elders, as you should be. Again, don't let the young face confuse you. But you know, whatever. Where we at with it? Let me see. Everything is real to some extent. It all depends on what real means to you. Because some people say everything is real because our senses is real, right? Well, I can touch this, I can taste with my tongue, I can hear, I can see, so it must be real. But your physical senses can be manipulated, right? Anybody who does drugs know what I'm talking about. Your senses can be manipulated and altered, can be amplified or desensitized, depending on what your goal is. So to say something is real just because everything is real, you gotta keep studying, keep studying. Because if your senses can be manipulated, then it must not be as real as you think it is, because it can be manipulated. Something real cannot be manipulated. For somebody who has a real mind, they don't fall for tricks. If you are real, you don't fall for tricks. So if you're still falling for tricks, how can you be real? Because the real can see through all illusion. So if you are a person that's still being manipulated by illusion because you think it's real, then you must not be real. Your whole life is based off of a fabrication that somebody else put in your mind that may not have been the truth. And again, the truth is not absolute. Everybody's going to have their own version, and that's what makes life beautiful, because anybody can think whatever the fuck they want to think, regardless if it's the most complex thing on the planet or the most simplest thing on the planet. But there are some basic foundations that must be established if you consider yourself a dark lord or a Sith lord or somebody who partakes in the dark lifestyle, the energy of Saturn. The energy of Saturn is all about discipline. The number 8 is the most disciplined of the numbers. Saturn, if it doesn't teach you anything else, is going to teach you discipline. It's going to teach you longevity. It's going to teach you hardship. It's going to teach you how to survive long term. Not a quick money flip. That's more so Mercury, the number 5. It's not about quick nothing. It's about longevity. And because people's minds are so, what is it called? They have a short attention span. Saturn, most people run away from Saturn. People don't like Saturn. Saturn is negative to a lot of people. When they like, oh, Saturn, when you look at your Saturn, it shows you your hardships. Not realizing these are the necessary to understand who and what you beyond your physical shell. Saturn reveals to you universal truth beyond the physical plane, or how to structure the truth that you have accumulated into some type of lifestyle that can be beneficial to you and the people. All right. Jesus was alchemy. Well, we already established, Jesus is a creation of man. So, of course, just like Baphomet is alchemy as well. All symbols are alchemical, mathematical equations. So that's with any symbol. All symbols are mathematical equations to program the subconscious mind so that you can have a particular experience. So that's with anything. So again, that's why we're not just jumping out here speaking about things that we don't know anything about. We understand that everything is symbolism. So based on the symbolism in your atmosphere will determine your reality. So you need to ask yourself what symbolism is around your reality, because that's what you are giving your energy towards. How controlled are you of your environment, especially when it comes to the symbolism. All right. So where we at with it? How can people sell something that's free for money, basically? Well, nothing is truly free because everything requires energy. So, for example, if you walk up to an apple tree and you take an apple off of the tree, you may say, oh, this apple was free. But no, this apple requires you to climb up the tree, utilize your energy and your time, and get that apple. So that apple truly wasn't free. It required time and it required energy. So nothing is truly free because everything is going to either take up some time or some energy. But energy and time is the real currency. That's why I always said time is money. It don't say money is time. Time is money. Your proper time management will get you money if you properly manage your time. That can translate into money with proper time management. But it's so many of us just trying to do a quick flip, quick flip, quick flip, quick flip. Not understanding how money and economics truly work. And we wonder why we don't have these things structured in order. So, again, we're going to make the proper corrections today. All right. What's up, Phoenix Rising? The council of Saturn is always watching. I mean, if you consider Saturn to be a council, again, I don't know where people get this shit from. But it is what it is. Motherfuckers be getting information from other people, but did you get it from yourself? Are you in tune with the council of Saturn? What is your rank on the council of Saturn? That's what I'm interested in. I don't give a fuck what anybody else is talking about. What is your rank on the council? What part do you play on the council? Or you just speaking about a council that somebody else told you about? That type of shit is just not gonna fly. If you don't have rank in the council, then why are you speaking about something that has nothing to do with you? Something to do with it, that's different. But for those who may have something to do with it, you probably are not revealing that type of information. You probably wouldn't want people to know that. But anyway, the codes have now been altered anyway. It was supposed to be all about moving in silence. But everybody want to, I sold my soul, I'm a part of this, I'm a part of that. Everybody just revealing their connections as if like, why do you want somebody to know what you're associated with or what your lifestyle is? That's not what you want people to know about. Unless you just like people assume, you're a person. But I guess some people just are attention seekers. They not doing this because it comes from the heart. So this shit comes from the heart. This shit is based on pain. Motherfuckers ain't even been through no pain. They even consider themselves, how can you even be dark if you ain't never experienced death? If you ain't never been through no hardship that brought tears in your eyes, something that changed your spirit. There has to be a moment in your life where shit changed. Somebody close to you died or something happened that was just so traumatic that your shit just shifted and you became a Sith Lord. That ain't something that you asked for. That's something that happened to you. A part of your necessary growth. Something in life fucks you up and you became what you are today. Versus this is just a decision you made because you thought it was cool. Most people in this dark shit really didn't have a choice in the matter in terms of this. Just life happened. And life guided them to the dark side versus somebody who's just walking through the front door like it's some cool shit. That's the difference. There are those who were led here. Then there are those who want to walk in this motherfucker, not having to go through the trials and tribulations of those who ended up here because of life. Life had to teach you the lessons of the dark side versus lessons from another aspect of life. So you may be a person that religion just was not for you. You may have had to master these streets. You may have had to master the mud and the dirt and to build something for yourself to become an engineer of this mathematical and this spiritual lifestyle. I don't know. Hopefully this is making sense. Because again, I'm speaking from experience. Like I said, when y'all see all these images on my channel, when you check out my Instagram, when you check out everything I'm doing, you see that I do more than run my mouth. See, that's the difference between me. Like, you see me creating things. I can engineer things. Like I said, I just uploaded an ASMR video. I've been uploading binaural beats, isochronic tones. I've been doing these things besides running my mouth. So I'm not just a person that just, you know what I mean? Like this dark side is translated to me to be able to produce music, imagery, books, writings. I got the website, nothing but articles. There's almost on the website already. We almost had 100 articles. So you know what I mean? Like, don't get confused with this. We ain't doing this. We are putting in work, and that's why the only support I ask is to support the website. You don't have to give me a donation and you don't know where the money is going, how it's being spent. All I said is support the website, and in return for supporting the website, you get access to a library of information that's not available nowhere else on the internet. So I try to be fair. I don't just want your money. Either buy service from me, or if you want to donate to the website, so at least you get something back for the donation, even if it's $5 a month. You at least are getting something back, versus I'm just taking your money and you don't know where it's going or what you're getting. So set things up to, if you want to support me, you get something back. That's all it's about. I don't want your money and you don't get anything in return. You will get something back, something that will change your life if you allow it to. What can be better than that? But again, if you don't truly understand the art of business and you don't truly understand the art of supporting your own, then it's not going to make sense. But again, everybody want to start this business. But you have to learn business etiquette. Everybody want to be these business motherfuckers, but don't even understand business etiquette. You have to understand business etiquette, but that's what Saturn does. Saturn teaches you business etiquette, how to actually do business, not how to start a business. Anybody can fill out a form for your LLC, for your EDN or your EIN number, which is an alternative number if you don't want to use your social security card, right? Anybody can fill out the proper paperwork to be registered as a producing business. Anybody can do that. You don't have to be a special person to start a business, but you do have to be a special person to properly conduct business etiquette. Not just the hand-to-hand transactions. Okay, this is $5. Give me the $5. You get your product. But business etiquette. For example, somebody, all right, they want, let's just say this costs $5, whatever, right? Somebody sees this on your shelf in your business. They put this on the desk. I want this. It says $4.99 on the bottom, whatever. They hand you the $4.99. But you don't just hand them a receipt. It's not enough. You hand them, okay, I appreciate the business. Then you give them a flyer to your next upcoming event. I also throw events at this business. I also speak about metaphysical principles, this, that, and the third. So now you're not just doing business. Now you're advertising about your upcoming events. Now you're advertising about, hey, you got kids. If you want to bring the kids out, we got some kid activities. Because most people have kids, right? Boom. So you can get the kids involved. You get the adults involved. You know what I mean? Of course, you provide the free food and drinks. Everybody like to fucking eat and drink. You know what I mean? Free food. And that's just off of somebody who bought something for $5. Like, yo, you bought this for $5, but let me give you something more. So if you want more to understand what you're buying and what you're doing, if you want to understand more, here is your opportunity to understand more if that's what you're seeking, as opposed to if I just have products to offer you, but I don't have a lifestyle to offer you. So you don't just do business, you offer the lifestyle. Why? Because you know how to do many things. You're not just a person who does this, right? You can actually help somebody's life with those tarot cards. You can help somebody's life with those astrology readings. You can just help somebody's life just being a part of their life, just having conversations like this that will help somebody understand the missing pieces that they may not have fully understood. You can help them to merge those missing pieces together. That's called good business etiquette. Like, yo, I do more. Okay, I understand you buying this $5 piece, but I have many services to offer. For whatever you got going on in your life, I got something for you. And you can give them a list of the things that you offer. So you create a person that, not that you create a person, you create a relationship with a person that allows them to come back to your place of business for more than just spending money. You may throw free events. You may throw fundraisers. Not necessarily for the money. You really don't care about the money. You care about the people. You care about people having a foundation in the magical arts and know how to utilize their power purposely and effectively. That's what you truly care about. You just so happen to get paid for it. That's the last step, not the first step. But again, motherfuckers are not thinking that deeply into their business. Why? Because they're just more concerned with the profits. Everybody understand that you may not make any money for the first 5 years when you start a business. But motherfuckers ain't willing to dedicate 5 years of struggle before you come up. If I tell a motherfucker right now, it's gonna take you 5 years to make any type of profits, you just gonna be losing money for 5 years. Just putting in money that you ain't gonna get back till later on. Motherfuckers like, you know what, I ain't got time for that. I'm trying to do a quick flip. They ain't got that 5 years to dedicate to building a foundation of a business so that you can actually reach that apex. But if you have no base, there's no apex. Everybody trying to get up here, right, with that all seeing eye, right? Everybody want to be at the top of the pyramid, but don't even understand the process of the base. That's the number 4. The number 4 is how to construct the base of the pyramid. The number 8 is how to exist in the apex. See? I guarantee nobody is breaking that shit down like that. All the numerologists out here, all those websites, they ain't telling you that shit. Because they not true practitioners. I just gave you a practical example. So if you want to use the number 4, because everybody's seeing these numbers anyway, you're already seeing the numbers, but now you can have some type of meaning behind it so you know what you're looking at and you know how to activate it when you see it versus just seeing it and you don't know the next step. Because nobody's telling you how to go the full way. They're just giving you this half-ass information and people like, yo, you see these numbers, but then what? You just saw them. Activate them bitches. They are an intelligence. They are planetary energies. You're not just seeing no shit just for the sake of seeing it. But can you activate what you see? And can you produce from your doing? Alright. Gosh. I ain't even planning on talking this fucking long. But y'all know when the spirit possesses you, there ain't nothing you can do. I was just supposed to get on here 10 minutes and get the fuck off, but when the spirit possesses you, there's nothing you can do. What can I do, right? But speak the truth. Alright, where we at? P.S. Everybody on earth has not been blessed by a soul, but are capable of a soul. Okay. Again, wherever you got that from, I don't know where you got that from, but you know, it's not really my place to speak on what another man or another woman said. So whoever said that, that's what happens. It's just that people who speak this shit don't make themselves available. So let me put that part in there. The reason why people be bringing all this shit to me because the people who spewing this shit don't make themselves available. You can't just call them on the phone. They don't offer like readings where you can actually ask them questions or you gotta, you know what I mean? Like they don't give you access to their minds the way I give you access to my mind. They're not. You don't get that internal view for all the people who saying this shit, right? They just say it, but you don't necessarily know how their mind works. At least if you watch my videos, you know how my mind works. Because I didn't put enough information out here. So if you don't agree with the information, it's because you don't agree with the way my mind works. Which is just fine, because you're not going to agree with everything. But at least you know essentially where I'm going at and where I'm getting the information from. Or the process it takes to gather this type of information. Instead of me just saying some shit without no type of foundation. That's why I do the lives. So if I ever said anything that doesn't make sense, a person can ask and I can clarify it. Versus who else is clarifying the shit that's coming out their mouth. They're not being challenged to clarify the information. That's why I make myself available. If I say anything that does not make sense, a person asks a question, I will clarify it so that by the end of the video, it would have made sense to them versus I just said something and they don't know where I got it from. They don't know where the source is. They don't know anything about it. But they ask me, I can give you further information. Why? Because I have studied enough to the point where I don't have to just spew random things. I can direct you to a resource, a book, an article, a video, a person, a place, a thing. I can direct you to some type of resource for you to do your own information seeking. Versus I expect people to believe it just because it's coming out of my mouth. Now, again, I'm not one of those people who would just lie. Some people don't mind that shit. Some people will lie to get to success. And I'm just not that type of person. I don't feel the need to have to deceive or lie about anything. But that type of freedom is not for everybody. There's still grown-ass men and women out here lying about the most bullshit, the most subtle shit. Their partners. There's motherfuckers who still lying to their partners. The person that they sleep in the same bed with. So when a motherfucker like me come in the picture who don't have a reason to lie about anything at any moment in time, that's why people get the vibe they get from me. Because you're dealing with somebody who's not trying to deceive you, but will always stand for the truth. And that's very intimidating to people who are based their whole life off of lying, cheating, stealing, doing all this fuckery. You know, when some real shit come in, it's like the energy just starts to. Because if you're a person who is always trying to manipulate, then a person doesn't allow you to manipulate them, it renders you powerless. A person only feels as powerful as who they can manipulate and deceive. So if they can't manipulate and deceive, they lose their power. But if you're not a person manipulating and deceiving, you're just speaking the truth based on your perspective, based on your vantage point. Even if a person doesn't agree with you, it can be a respectful thing. Like, I respectfully disagree. And we all have the opportunity to respectfully disagree. It doesn't have to lead to, you know, massacres, basically, right? So where we at with it? Where we at? Now Trey Hall is trying to spew his madness, which I'm not. I'm not really trying to hear it, honestly, because at the end of the day, you gotta study more. And that's another thing. It's a respect thing, right? It's a respect thing. And what I mean by that is, if somebody comes before you who knows more than you, and you're trying to tell them, like, yo, that's not right. No, you got to look at it this way. But you're speaking to a person that knows more than you, that's been in the game longer than you. So who the fuck are you to say anything to somebody who has done more than you? Obviously, they know what they're talking about. And they had knew what they're talking about years ago. They've been with the shits. But here you are, new in the game, trying to spew some shit as if I'm not right. It's just a respect thing. That's why I say, you know, that's why I got the shooters on deck. So I'm gonna always have moderators in the room. So if anybody don't have enough respect to at least listen, don't try to argue and debate with me, because you're not gonna win. Because your mind is not, it don't go that deep yet. Not saying that I'm better. I just have more wisdom because I've been in the game. It ain't about age. You may be older than me, but I'm older than you as in soul because I've been in this shit longer. That's all it is. So if motherfuckers don't have enough respect to respect the wisdom, respect somebody who's been in the game, not somebody who just popped up on the scene yesterday. That's not me. See when I created this channel. It's public information, 2013. It's 2018, so I've been in this bitch 5 years just on YouTube. That doesn't include the work that I've done in the streets, the people's lives that I've touched before I even gave a fuck about being on YouTube. But you know, motherfuckers act like just because you can see me that you can just say whatever the fuck you want to say. But it's not going down like that. Respect the wisdom and benefit from the wisdom, because I'm not ever going to tell you a lie. And if you can't respect that, then you're in the wrong place. Respect somebody who will be honest enough with you to actually have this conversation, because whoever the fuck you're listening to is not allowing you to get this intimate with them. I allow people to get intimate with me because I have nothing to hide. I don't have a cult behind me and I'm manipulating a bunch of people. There's nothing like that going on. So it is what it is. Hold on, let me change the song. But anyway, like I said, if anybody want to get out of line, you will be killed. You know, digitally. You know, by one of the moderators if you get out of line. Because again, we don't have time for this. We don't have time to go back and forth with youngins. Sit your young ass down in this game and let the OG school you. And once you got some experience under your belt, then we can have a conversation. But don't come up in here as a youngin in this game and like, oh no, that's not. Yo, you're not there yet. You're still on the introductory level, and the things that I may say may contradict that. But there's levels to this shit. You gotta be firmly rooted in this shit. Anyway, it's enough about that, of course. Let me see. What's up, Tangela? What's up, Stony Marie? What's up, Afro Pit? Let me see. Is glossing is a form of a mantra or a chant? I don't know. I've never heard of that mantra. That's why I say wherever y'all are getting this information from, because it's not coming from me. Because you see, everybody's bringing up some shit that I never said. I don't know what y'all talking about. But wherever you're getting that information from, you need to ask that person. If it didn't come out of my mouth, then I can't answer that because I don't know where that comes from. So I'm not sure why somebody's asking me something that I never manifested. So whoever told you about that mantra, you have to go to them and ask them because it didn't come from me. So I can't speak on somebody else's. All right. What's up, Anthony? Anthony's in the building. Yeah, definitely keep your chants up. Keep your chants up. You know what I mean? But that's still, introduction. You got to keep exploring the depths of your own soul. Exactly. Numbers are alive. Colors are alive. Definitely. Let me see where we at with it. What's good, young Samsura? What's my price? If anybody want to know my prices about anything, you got to email me. I'm not going to discuss the prices publicly. So just check the links in my description, and it will direct you to how much the prices are. So give me 1 second here. Let me grab this from under the table. Give me 1 second. All right. Let me see where we at with it. Yeah, we definitely in the dark season. Definitely welcome to the dark side of the year. For those who don't even understand that. So, all right, what's up? Free the cheeks. Let me see. I know you may not care, but did you tune into the UFC fight? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm just not the person to ask about all this mundane stuff that people's into. I don't want to disrespect nobody though. Like whatever you're into, if you're into the UFC, you're into whatever you're into. Everybody has their form of entertainment, but it's just not. You know what I mean? I'll be too going to my own engineering. You know what I mean? I'll be too going to my own engineering. I just don't have the time to just be caught up in just regular shit. You know what I mean? To me, that's just regular shit. People fight every day. People get paid every day. That's just what they do. It is what it is. I don't necessarily need to check it out. All right. What's up, Lil Smoke 333? All right. If you keep, all right, Trey Hall. This is your final warning. If Trey Hall, if you don't humble yourself and listen, then you will be blocked. I will have one of the moderators block you, then you won't exist. So instead of trying to, you see what I mean? This is why I have moderators. This is why I felt it was necessary, because I started speaking this dark shit and everybody want to come with their own shit. Hold on, let me put this a little closer. getting a little dark. Sorry about that. Let me do some readjustment. Yeah, that's a little bit better there. So what I was saying was, this for a long time, I didn't have moderators. But now that I'm speaking about this dark shit, everybody's a master now, right? Everybody feel like they know what the fuck they talking about. So if you know what you talking about, you create a channel and you spew that bullshit. It's simple. Go to your channel, go to your page, and you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. You don't have to come here with your own philosophy trying to dispute everything I'm saying. I don't even understand the point of that. If you feel a different type of way, you have a platform like everybody else has a platform. You don't have to come to my platform talking about, yo, you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about, when you damn sure know. I have showed and proved this. So everything you're saying is not rooted in factual information. I have shown and proved on the concrete and everywhere else. So there's nothing inauthentic about me. I've actually put the work on. But if you have also did the same, then you have a platform to say whatever the fuck you want to say. You don't have to bring it over here. And again, it's not going to be a back and forth. This is your final warning. You say anything else out of place, you're going to be blocked, and you just don't exist. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get this shit twisted. Don't get this shit twisted. Because everything I'm saying is factual. I'm not making any of this up. This is based on actual experience. If you don't already know that, then you need to do your research about this channel. I've been speaking about this shit for years and years. You just got here. Because I remember times where I didn't even have 100 subscribers. Motherfuckers don't understand that. Like, I was still here when I didn't have no subscribers. I was still here. You wasn't here. You wasn't into this shit. I was. Where the fuck was you at? Anyway, you know, I'm feeling good. You know, it is what it is. But sometimes you gotta put these motherfuckers in their place. And I'm glad y'all get to see it. Y'all get to see motherfuckers trying to disprove me with no actual facts. They're not giving no references. Go to this person. No, this person said this. Read this book. They're not giving no references. They're just based off of their emotions. And that's what I want people to observe. So if anybody tries to refute anything I'm saying, they're not coming with no resources, no factual information, nothing. Just based off of what they feel in their own emotional place. Right? It's just what they feel. Trying to disprove me with emotion is not going to work. Don't disprove me with emotion. Bring in the facts. Then I'll give you time. If you're bringing actual facts, I'm like, yo, if that's facts, it's facts. I'm not going to debate with it. But if you're not bringing facts, then why? There's nothing to be debated here. You know, like I said, I'm with the shits. So if you want to keep feeling froggy, you know, one of the snipers will get you out of here easy. So, you know, if you don't want to be sniped, and that goes for anybody. That goes for anybody. You know what I mean? Be respectful. Even if you don't agree, we can respectfully disagree. It's simple. If you come respectful to me, I'll be just as respectful to you. But if you want to come with your own madness, then we gotta bring the madness right back at you. It's just simple mathematics. And I just know you motherfuckers ain't from the streets. You never been in the streets, because you wouldn't be saying this shit. You're not gonna disrespect an OG in their face when they're trying to give you game. Because all they gotta do, like, all right, if you feel like you know, then go out there and bump your fucking head. I don't need to say anything to you. So there's no reason for you to even be in the room if you feel like you know better. Go out and show and prove. Why are you here? You know, easy shit. But anyway, it's enough. Let's get back to the information. That's enough for me blasting. But y'all got the point. Anybody get out of place, you gonna get sniped. So you got your warning. So if I ever say your name and I say snipe them, then they out of here. Easy. Alright, what's up, Profoundly Dignified? Let me see. What's up, Brianna? I lost my best friend at 10. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. You lose somebody close to you, your life, it changes your life. Death changes your life. And that goes for anybody. Let you fuck around and lose your mother, or lose your father, lose your brother, lose your sister, somebody that you grew up with, that you saw every day, smashes you down. It just fucks you, it destroys you. Then you have to rebuild yourself into something new, because you can no longer exist in your old form after somebody close to you has died. It destroys you, and you have to rebuild something new. And through the process of rebuilding yourself anew, you start to embrace the darker aspects of life, because now you have become familiar with the dark. And there's a certain beauty in death, just like there's a certain beauty in life. So you start to appreciate life more, even the dark side. There's a certain appreciation for it. So you're not a person that's all positive vibes, I don't want no negativity, no negativity. You're not that person. You're a person, you embrace the negativity because it is an opportunity for you to purify yourself and an opportunity for you to heal and grow. So you welcome the negativity just like you welcome the positivity. You're not trying to avoid life, because life is going to happen regardless. So you're not trying to, okay, let me just stay over here so that bad shit doesn't happen to me. You don't have that type of mentality. You embrace the dark as well as the light. That's just being a holistic person, period. Right? Anyway. Saturn is connected to the cube geometry. You can say that. You can say that. You know, that would not be a wrong statement. But you know, when we get into the solids, you know, that's a whole different ball game. Right? So, you know, that's for all my mathematicians out there, for those who understand the 5 Platonic solids, for those who understand geometry, then, you know, you understand things a lot better if you already have a mathematical background. If you are a master at mathematics, you have a different way of thinking. So you can understand magic and science differently than somebody else. So it's just you learning how to apply that mathematical mind into magic and science. Again, that's your way to tap in. Hold on, let me change this song. Let me see where we at with it. Okay, we're gonna play this. Play XXX Tentacion. I have it, but I'm not gonna play it. I wanted to play different music today, outside of just the traditional hip hop, as I explained in the beginning of the video. You know what I mean? So I'm introducing people to different forms of hip hop, different forms of Satanism, different forms of spirituality outside of America. So for all my American audience, you know, you may not hear music like this too often, even though it's dark, even though it's sinister. They talking about some. If you hear the words, see, I know it sounds nice, you get the bump and shit, but if you listen to these words, it's ruthless. These words are ruthless. That's what makes the dark. The words. So you're not listening to the words. It may be too low, and especially you're trying to listen to what I'm saying, so you may not be able to hear the words. So I understand that as well. But that's why I'm playing this particular music. And yes, X does fit into that category because X did transcend hip hop. So I understand. So X, you know, I believe he made like a rock album or something. So he was one of the few people in hip hop that transcended hip hop. You know, like a Lauryn Hill, you know, or a Tupac, you know, somebody who may have started in hip hop, but they became universal figures, you know. So I respect, you know, Triple X to the fullest, because again, he was the best out of the new age, but just like Pac was the best of the old age. And of course, the best always becomes the blood sacrifice for the many. See, that's what people don't understand. People don't understand that the best has to die. If you watch the movie 300, the king had to die, not the whole Sparta. The king had to die so that he can disperse his energy to the people, and eventually the people overcame or the opposing force. But the king had to die, and the king understood, if my people are to survive, I have to become a sacrifice. It is only through my sacrifice that my people will be able to succeed. Why? Because as a king, I give my people a certain comfort. When they see their king, it gives them comfort. But when they don't see their king anymore because their king has made the sacrifice, now they embody the sacrifice of the king. The memory of the, of the king. So the king, the Triple X or the Tupac, the kings had to become the blood sacrifice for the many. Now everybody want to be Pac. Everybody want to be Triple X. Because they have established the blueprint of what works. Right? You know, XXX embodied everything we talked about. That Satan, that dark side. That's why his music was dark. And you see his lifestyle was very dark because that's where he came from. It's not that he was just a dark person. He just went through hardship, and it shapes and molds your mind in a way that places you in situations that forces you to heal. Triple X, just like Tupac, was a master healer because of all the hardships that they had to endure in their lifetime. Right? These are people that are said to have infinite potential. Had Tupac lived, he would have been something great. Had XXX lived, he would have been something great. Why? Because their potential was already shown at an early age. Pac was only 25. X, I believe, was only 20 years old. So these are motherfuckers that are manifesting their divine nature in their 20s. So if you're talking about their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they definitely would have had a major change on the world. But it was not for them to do it single-handedly. It was for them to be the example, for them to be the totem, for them to be the principle for everybody else, to embody that essence. Now everybody's a thug, because Pac was a thug. There's nothing wrong with being a thug, it's a lifestyle. Now everybody want to be the rock star, want to be on the dark side, want to speak about that shit. X was already speaking about that shit. Before all these other motherfuckers were speaking about that shit, X was speaking about it. And for those who, for those who are familiar with me, remember I released a song, L Fresh as Hell, for those who understand, L Fresh as Hell. I released that shit last year. I don't even think XXX was on anybody's radar. But that's just an example of an underground, demonic, devilish, sinister energy. You listen to L Fresh as Hell, that's a deity. When I say L Fresh as Hell spoke through me. But motherfuckers don't understand that shit. So when you listen to those lyrics, you know that this is coming from a divine being. This isn't just a person. But that's what music is. We are channeling greater spirits and greater energies and compressing them into a little 3-4 minute song. And sometimes it's only 2 minutes nowadays. So you are compressing a divine essence into a 2-3 minute song. And that process that you have to go through is called alchemy. Combining magic with science, with mathematics, right? Hopefully y'all understand. But anyway, so I just felt this needed to be said. How do we deal with pain? You must transmute pain. Pain has to be transmuted. You can't stop it. We're gonna experience pain until we die. That's just the nature of this physical plane. But what we can do, we can transmute the pain. And what I mean by transmuting the pain is, when we engage in sexual intercourse, some shit that may usually hurt you actually becomes pleasurable. Like, let a dude pull your hair just out of nowhere, that shit is gonna hurt. But if a dude pulls your hair in the midst of intercourse, it actually feels pleasurable. Just as an example. That's just an example of transmuting pain. Something that will usually hurt you gives you pleasure. And the only difference is your consciousness. You being turned on versus you being turned off. So you being turned off produces pain. You being turned on produces pleasure. So it's just that subtle transmutation of awareness that allows all painful situations to be understood. What do I mean by that? You may be upset about something that happened in the past, whether you did something to somebody or somebody did something to you. But what you have to do, you have to, as they say in the game, you have to charge it to the game. What do I mean by charge it to the game? You just have to keep it where it is. For example, if you was in low spirits, let's just say you was in a relationship, you were of low spirits and they were of low spirits. So you have to charge that to the game. We were both ignorant at the time. We were both ignorant. So the only thing that came out of that relationship is total ignorance. The sex was fire, but everything else was just total ignorance. But we have to charge that to the game. Like, yo, I was in my lower nature. I was just following my dick, or I was just following my pussy. Whatever it was, right? We just have to accept that. Like, yo, like I was just with that bitch because she had a fat ass. Her mind was fucking, sinister, but I just like the way the ass bounced on my dick. And if that's what it is, then let that be what it is. And accept that, like, yo, I was just in that relationship just to feed my lower nature. Because what it didn't feed my higher nature. It didn't unlock any spiritual potential, but it damn sure made for a good sexual experience. It fulfilled my lower self. And if that's what it is, then let that be what it is. Then, of course, you have the opposite, where you have people that fulfill your higher self, but they don't fulfill your lower self. You get what I'm saying? So you just have to keep everything where it is. There are some people that are here to stimulate your higher senses, then there are some people that are here to stimulate your lower senses. Now, if you come into contact with a person who is able to do both, then you know you're dealing with a special person. But most people is either one or the other. So just keep it where it is. So don't feel bad about what you did to some ex-chick or dude. If you was in your lower nature, so was they, and then just keep it there. There's no need to feel bad about it, to regret it, to feel no type of way. Like, yo, that was me in my lower nature, and I accept it. That is a more mature way of dealing with pain and any type of hardship or ignorance. Like, yo, I was in my lower self. I knew I wasn't supposed to be fucking with her. I knew I wasn't supposed to be at that job or whatever the situation may be. But I was just in my lower self. I was just up for a money grab. And that was just an opportunity for me to grab some money. That was just an opportunity for me to get a nut. That was just for an opportunity for me to, just have a little eye candy on my arm. And there is nothing wrong with embracing the lower nature. That's what the intention is. But most motherfuckers are not honest with themselves. That's why they be getting into relationships when all they wanted was some eye candy. But you allow your feelings to get into it because you wasn't prepared to deal with eye candy. Motherfuckers be thinking like, well, I'm just about to have a bitch to fuck on. That comes at a price. And when they realize the price that it comes with, they realize they didn't want what they signed up for, and they end up getting damaged. Thinking that they just about to get their nuts off, and it end up becoming a lot more than what they expected. But that's just the way of the world. There's no need to feel no type of way about it. Again, you got so many people walking around with guilt on their heart, with guilt on their chest about because they wasn't the best parents, because they wasn't the best girlfriend or boyfriend, they wasn't the best son or daughter. People be walking around with just the most petty shit on their heart that's keeping them away from their blessings because they feel like they're lower. They feel like there's something negative about them. When that's just not the case. It's okay to embrace your lower nature. This is life, after all. We're not here to be saints. Just like we're not necessarily here to be devils. Just strictly devils. Just strictly on some fuck shit. We're not here to be strictly on some holy shit. We're here to experiment with the light and the dark. Get yourself some eye candy if that's what you want. And if you want a relationship, then get that. But be clear in your intentions. Because if you allow that shit to get mixed and diluted, then you're dealing with dangerous elements that will blow up in your face. And that's what most people have to deal with. That's why, again, you got so many dudes out here that's just mad with women. Because women are actually ascending. Then it's feel like with dudes, it's like, we kind of just out here on our own. But you had to always do for self as a man. You just got to do for self. So you're not intimidated by the rising of women or the rising of a particular group with the LGBT, whatever the fuck they call themselves. That doesn't bother you. If that truly bothers a person, if you are a man and what somebody else is doing truly bothers you, then you need to reconsider what it means to be a man. You should not be involved in anybody else's personal business. It's just so many people, they watching these shows on TV, they watching these internet shows, they're just so caught up with drama and messiness that their life reflects that energy. But you can be a person that just wants some eye candy on your arm and not be a messy person. You get what I'm saying? You can be clean. And that's what I encourage. If you dwell in the dark side, stay clean. Keep it where it is. Just let it be known. I'm just here for the eye candy. I'm just here to get this nut off. I'm just here for this one night stand. Or I'm just here for this fling. And let that be what it is. Don't let that shit get mixed and diluted, because you end up signing up for some shit that you wasn't prepared for. And this is how dysfunctional relationships come about. Motherfuckers like you were just supposed to be eye candy, but motherfuckers, you didn't know how good the pussy was. The pussy was actually good. Like, oh shit, I need to cuff this up. Not realizing like, yo, the pussy was supposed to be good, but it wasn't for you to get in your feelings. Anyway, any fucking way, y'all get my point. Cause motherfuckers be afraid to ask spirits, like, yo, I just want some pussy, man. Or I just want some dick. Like they won't give it to you. Like you can't manifest a sexual experience, or you can't manifest whatever it is that you desire, because like, yo, I'm not supposed to be there. Or I follow Jesus, or I follow Allah. I'm not supposed to be engaging in temptation. But nobody's perfect though. So what the fuck are you really talking about? Show me a perfect Muslim. Show me a perfect Christian. Show me a perfect anything. And that person should be followed. But that person doesn't exist. There is no perfect. So even the most holy of holy still does some dark sinister shit in the background. But that's just life. And I don't look at, so it could be a motherfucker at church every Sunday fucking on the pastor. Or it could be a woman in church every Sunday fucking on the pastor. Do I look at this woman differently? Absolutely not. Because I'm like, everybody got the sinister nature. Everybody is doing some creepy shit. So fucking what? Everybody has to fulfill and feed their lower self at some point. So if that means that you doing some shit outside of marriage, it's none of my fucking business. I'm not gonna speak about it. You don't have nothing to do with it. If anything, I'm trying to get some ass too. But you fucking on the pastor, that just let me know like, yo, she's giving it up like that. So let me try to get a part of it. And that's just me speaking real. You know what I mean? Everybody else want to pretend like this, like you don't think the same fucking way. Oh, I can't. I'm in a different vibration now. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, we got to keep this shit grounded. Let's just be real. All right, where we at? What's up, Sierra? How can I learn to fast for more than 7 days? I made a whole video about that, Michael. I made a whole video called how to last in an extended fast, something like that. I just made that video, so you just gotta watch that video. I made a whole video. I think it was a whole 30 minutes of me talking about how to survive a long-term fast. Something. So I already spoke about that. You gotta go back in the archive. All right. Let me see. What's up, Coco? Let me see. I know I'm like 30 minutes behind the comments. All right. Alrighty. Shit's getting trendy now, so the sheeple are leaking into the community. Don't even consider it that, because the real shit can't be penetrated. What do I mean by that? Yes, there's a lot of people that's into, the new age movement and everything that comes with that. That who just into it because it's trendy. But that has always been. But the real shit, they will never penetrate. Why? Because they can't survive in this realm. Because think about it. If they're trendy, their whole thinking is on a surface level. So when some shit goes beyond the surface, they can't last. So all these trendy motherfuckers, they can't last when shit starts to penetrate the surface. So all you gotta do is show them some real shit and they disperse. So it ain't about shit. Show them some real shit and they will disperse. They not gonna stick around for the realness. Why? Because they're not real. If you're not real, then reality scares you. Reality scares you if you are not real. So if you constantly project some real shit, you know what I mean? They can't do nothing with it. What they gonna do with it? You around a real ass nigga or a real ass bitch. What the fuck you gonna do? If you fake, you gonna feel uncomfortable. You're not gonna, cause you know you're not fooling nobody because you're around some real motherfuckers. They see right through you. You're not fooling nobody. So you're not gonna last too long if you don't embody those principles. And those are the people that just come and go. They just one day they in that group, then that group, then that group, then that group. They hopping and jumping on, you know, just random dicks. To each his own. To each his own. All right. What's up, Janelle? Janelle and this bitch. Let's see. All right. Killer Priest, high explosives. Exactly, definitely. I know exactly what you're talking about. Damn, that was last year. Yeah, I'm actually gonna because a lot of people didn't hear my song "L Fresh as Hell" because again I put it out last year. A lot of people didn't see it. A lot of people they didn't. You know what I mean? If you heard it, you know like this is the shit. You know it ain't nothing like this, right? But I'm gonna re-release it. So I'm gonna re-release "L Fresh as Hell." I'm gonna just have to put a music video with it. I think that's motherfuckers gonna really see it. I may have to switch up some lyrics, but I had to put a music video. Because if I put a music video to L Fresh as Hell, show forth in the lifestyle, it's crazy. It's crazy, you know what I mean? But listen, if you haven't heard L Fresh as Hell, I made the song, you know, but if you into that dark shit, then you already know what it's about. I'm talking, ain't nobody else speaking about darkness the way I speak about it, but that's because I'm in my own lane. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not one of these niggas that just talk. Like, I'm really in this hip-hop shit for real, for real. You know what I mean? Again, right now I'm working on making my own beats and everything because I understand you have to have your own style as well as your own sound. You have to have your own style and your own sound. I have my own style. Now I'm crafting my own sound. You know what I mean? And I know that takes things to a whole nother level when you are producing an original sound. So that's what I'm working on now. But you know, that's engineering. You know what I mean? You got to be an engineer to produce, you know, the binaural beats, isochronic tones, music. All that takes engineering ability. And that's, you know what I mean? I am an engineer, again. That's why my channel is not like anybody else's channel. With the artwork, with the substance, with the topics, ain't nobody else even touching it. But again, it is what it is. I'm not taking any credit for it. It's just when you put in work, you get results. Hard work equal results, right? Everybody can agree with that. So anyway, what's up, Divine Chakras? What's up, Leandro? Let me see. Yeah, definitely. The divine feminine is definitely here. Now, I know that. See, a lot of these other niggas don't know because they still in the shadows somewhere, right? But I know, you know, as somebody who travels, y'all already seen me, right? As somebody who actually has met people in the lifestyle, the queens are definitely here. I trust me, though. It's truly the queens that have been holding me down. Not all these motherfuckers that come and go. Because again, ever since I've been talking about this Satanism, I done lost hundreds of subscribers. People who shouldn't have been here anyway. But you know, every now and then I gotta do a purge. If you ain't supposed to be here, all I gotta do is make a sinister video, then they get the fuck on. That's just, you know what I mean? It's a method to the madness. All I gotta do is talk about some dark shit. And as I just said, when you start speaking that real shit, all the fake motherfuckers, they leave. They can't stand the heat. So when I start talking about this devilish shit, then it's like, Most people just go, they gotta, it's an exodus, right? But I don't need those people here anyway. That's my point. Because again, I'm not caught up with the numbers. I'm not caught up with the fame. If you ain't supposed to be here, I'm gonna make a video that's gonna make you feel uncomfortable, and that's gonna make you get the fuck on. Because you know what I mean. All you're doing is taking up space anyway. Just get the fuck up out your seat so somebody else can sit there who actually wants to truly learn. So we ain't tripping about none of that shit. But the queens definitely have been holding me down. The divine feminine is here. I can agree with that. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for the queens, you know what I mean, I definitely would not be able to move the way I move. So the divine feminine is definitely here. That's why I got on my little shit. You know what I mean? This is just me. This is me honoring the divine feminine. Because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't feel weird about this shit. You know what I mean? I look like a nun, but it is what it is. It's, when you honor and respect your opposite, and what can stop you? When you are a man and you respect women, can't nothing stop you. When you are a woman and you respect man, can't nothing stop you. It's simple shit, right? Simple shit. But you got to be a part of the lifestyle to truly understand the darker side of this shit, right? You know, it ain't all about love and light. You got to mix that shit with some darkness too, and people just still don't understand that shit to this day. That love and light got to be mixed with some dark and some negative. All right. I'm liking the relationship, the relationship topics. We need videos like this. It is what it is. It's the reason why I don't really speak about relationships too much, because it's just my mind is so hard. You know, I don't like the way people engage in relationships in today's times. Because to me, it's petty. All this boyfriend, girlfriend shit. To call another man a boyfriend, to me, is insulting. To call another woman a girlfriend, to me, is insulting. But that's just me. I'm like, yo, wow, we demeaning our partners just by calling them these whack-ass titles. And we engaging in this white society trying to do what they do. This is what they do. You take your ass back to fucking Africa, or you do what the natives did. They didn't do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the way relationships work. Still to this day. Unless you accept the bullshit. And I'm just not a person that accepts the bullshit. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? I'm just not with the bullshit. So today's relationships, I just don't engage in. I can't engage in the pettiness of, motherfucker, again, be enemies with the person that you land up with. I just don't understand how you can be enemies with your life partner unless you wasn't supposed to be a life partner. That was just a dude that was just supposed to hit it and quit it, but you got caught in your feelings. Now you wonder why the relationship is rocky, because it wasn't supposed to be one. And that's why there's just too many relationships like that wasn't even supposed to be relationships. But motherfuckers don't want to be called hoes. Or I'm not sleeping from dude to dude, so I'm gonna stick with this one dude. Or I'm not fucking all this pussy. I'm gonna fuck that. Yeah, whatever. I would prefer to sleep around than to be in a relationship with a person that I don't truly respect and they don't truly respect me. We're just kind of in a relationship, just paying bills or just taking care of the kids or just there for convenience. Just if I ever do get horny, she's already there, even though we don't fuck on a daily basis because we ain't really feeling each other like that. But this is majority of the relationships out here. You know what I mean? But again, I don't like speaking about people's personal business because it's really none of my business. But of course I see it. I don't agree with it. But I'm like, I understand it. But if you are opposed to reality, then you're going to do everything to avoid reality. So that means starting a relationship that's not rooted in reality, having a job that's not rooted in reality, being in any type of situation that's not rooted in reality because you don't accept reality. So it's going to be those type of situations going on, and that's what we're going to see in majority of the people out here. They're going to reflect that mindset because they're ignorant by choice. I don't have no sympathy for a motherfucker who chooses to be ignorant. Everybody has the same resources I have. I'm not reading any secret books. I don't have any information that's just strictly available to me that ain't available to nobody else. So if anybody wants to be ignorant in these days, it's because they don't want to know anything, because all of the information is there. Everybody got access to YouTube. Everybody got access to the internet. Everybody has a cell phone in their pocket. There is no reason for anybody to be ignorant about anything unless you choose to, for whatever reason. You whatever excuse. So I work too many hours at the job. I gotta take care of these kids. Like, you don't have audio books. Like, you can't be listening to this shit in your ear while cooking your child's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, cleaning up the house, at work. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like, if you truly desire, you will find a way to get the knowledge. And everybody who's making excuses, like they don't have time, they don't understand it, because you don't want it. But you gotta have this shit in your soul to truly desire it, to truly get through all these books, all this information, all these teachers. You gotta have it in your heart, because it's only, if it's not in your heart, you're gonna get bored with this shit. You're not gonna ever understand it. You're only gonna get half-ass results. If it's not in your heart, it's only through your heart that is going to lead you to the depths of your soul, so that you really start to get the true essence of what you are doing. That comes from the soul. This is all powered by the soul. Satan, Saturn, soul force, real energy, pranayama, chi, ki. It's all the same stuff. But you know, if you don't have your correspondence game on point, then this is why you study. This is why you read. So when you look at a deity, you know what that deity is in every other tradition. So you know what energy you're working with. Oh, okay, that's Elegba. So I know Elegba is also Papa Legba. It's also Ishu. It's also Soul Deck. It's also, you know, it could be Tahuti as well. So you can look at any tradition and find the Elegba or find the Mercury. Where's the Mercury in this pantheon? There it is. Where's the Mercury in that pantheon? There it is. That's what correspondence is. When you study, you can identify the planetary energies with the deities, or the intelligence of the deities. What aspect of the brain it activates. That's why you study. And that's why so many people out here get mad and shit, because they haven't studied. You haven't studied enough to be able to make these correspondences. So when I'm spewing all this stuff, this is out of study. This is not somebody who just making up shit off the top of their dome. It may seem that way because I don't have a bunch of notes, but I have memorized enough stuff to be able to perceive it when I see it. I just got it, most of it is locked in here. Why? Because I don't depend on notes. What you gonna do if you forget your notebook? You ain't gonna have nothing to say? You don't got your notes, so you don't have nothing to say. You should have committed it to your fucking memory. So because I commit enough stuff to memory, I don't necessarily need to rely on notes unless I absolutely want to. And I want to, you know, just really be on top of it. But other than that, y'all see me, most videos, there's no notes. It's strictly off the top of the dome. I didn't even know what the fuck I was going to talk about when I hit the record button. That's why y'all saw me. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about as the camera's recording. I put myself on the hot seat and see what the fuck I do. This is just me experimenting, right? What the fuck you gonna do if motherfuckers hit the record button on the camera? What the fuck you gonna say? Well, let's start talking about the obvious. It's a simple shit, you know what I mean? This is what I mean by the lifestyle, where I don't have to just prepare every video like that. I can just hit the record button and just snap it. Let's say no drugs, no extracurricular, anything, you know what I mean? Keep that shit pure, mathematical, scientific, and magical. Alright. So we done been on this bitch for almost 2 hours. And I'm just running off at the moment. Where we at though? What's up, Drury? Oh, that song was a hit. You should definitely remaster it. I agree. And that's why, I did my due diligence to understand engineering. I've been practicing engineering. And that's why I'm presenting different videos. I'm going to be presenting different videos on this channel. Like, again, isochronic tones, some more psychedelic, just anything other than just me talking. Because I can do more things. So it's just time for me to expand at this point. So it's time for me to expand into full catalog. I can really do many things. I just kind of compressed it to speaking because I felt like this was the most important. But now I feel like, you know what I mean, I didn't spoke enough. You know what I mean? I got 400 videos of just me smashing shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start, I'll still be doing the live streams, of course. But I'm going to be doing different things as well. So you're going to start seeing different things on the channel. So for me to expand my category. So y'all can really see, like, this is a factory. This is a system. This is not just a person with a cell phone that's hitting a record button. This is a factory. This is a whole universe of intelligence. And I can start to produce those many facets of this universe. You know, that's not limited to just me speaking about the dark side or the light side or whatever the fuck I choose to speak about. That's just, you can say that's the lowest of the low. This is me and my lower self. But when I start producing those sounds, when I start producing those images, those psychedelic images, that ASMR, it's a whole different battle game, right? Whole different game. So anyway, so you're definitely going to see more variety in the channel. So instead of me just, you know, speaking about this stuff. Because trust me, you know, I think people understand. If you understand it by now, you should. And if you don't understand it, it's because you don't want to understand it. But if you truly desire in your heart to understand, you will understand. Because I'm speaking to your soul. I'm not speaking to your ears. Some people, this is hitting their ears in one ear, out the other ear. But some people, it's hitting the chest. If it's hitting your chest, then you know it's for you. If it's just hitting your ears, it ain't, you know what I mean? It's not for you because it don't resonate with your internal essence. Anyway, where we at? Where we at? Let me see. The video will have to be just as raw as the song. It's like, I wouldn't even have that shit on YouTube. I'm just being real. Like, the video wouldn't even be on YouTube because it would be, I would have elements in there that would just be too X-rated. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even put it on YouTube. I had to put that on a website. You know, I would have to put the video on the website because it wouldn't even. I guess I would have to have a clean version, put the clean version on YouTube, then put the dark version on the website for those who like the erotic imagery. You know what I mean? I can bring some naked women in there, you know, with some satanic garb on and all. I can bring all type of shit, but I'm like, I don't want to bring the wrong message to the kids. So I'm like, let me do the clean version for the kids. Even though the song isn't clean, but the imagery, keep the imagery clean for the kids or whatever. All the youngest, but then all the adults or the mature audience, then y'all can get the erotic side of it. So you know what I mean? It is what it is. Yeah, for anybody who's still trying to figure out their Baphomet connection, understand that Baphomet is a creation. And it embodies principles inside of that creation, right? Again, let me show you this image one more time. For anybody who's having trouble with understanding the Baphomet, everything about the Baphomet or Satan is within this card. If you study this card, so I'm gonna put this card up here for maybe about 30 seconds. If you truly study this card, everything about Satanism, everything about the devil, everything about Saturn is inside of this card. So let me just give everybody a second to just truly take in the imagery. There we go. Just truly take in the imagery. Let it seep into the subconscious. And so you don't understand the satanic energy. You may not understand it. Just not reveal, but pay attention to the imagery. And allow the imagery to speak to the subconscious. Right? There you go. There we go. There you go, there you go, there you go. All right, where we at with it? Yeah, I learned the hard way last week that people do not fuck with Baphomet. I'm glad you learned. I'm glad you learned. This is something for you. This dark side shit is for you. Fuck the public. The public will never understand because they choose to remain ignorant. Everybody has access to the internet, as I just said. Anybody can learn about the Baphomet if they choose, but they want to. In other words, humans are emotional beings. We expect people to be logical beings, upstanding beings, but people are emotional fucks. Period. If people were as logical as we want them to be, then there would be no white Jesus. There would be no religion. There would be no invisible gods. That shit would not exist because people would be too intelligent to fall for that. The only reason why this shit exists out here is because people are emotional. And it appeals to their emotions. And that's why all this craziness is able to exist out here, because it's based off of lunar energy versus solar energy. That's the difference. Motherfuckers is into that lunar energy, that dark energy, versus that solar energy, or that soul energy, that soul force energy. That's the difference. So anybody who's into that lunar shit, that religious shit, then they not going to understand this soul work. Nor should they understand it. And they will keep their distance, as they should, because they are not allowed over here. Because all they're going to do is fucking snitch on you. See, that's what you don't want. You don't want snitches. Let's just say you're doing a ritual, a blood ritual, some shit that's just super graphic, and they around. And they looking at this shit. They'll fucking tell the cops on your ass. Look at this ignorant motherfucker. You don't want that. Why? Because now you have to kill that person. Because they snitched on you and they took your freedom. And now they cause all this shit. Why? Because they doing it all in the name of God, or all in the name of Jesus. But now that's a real problem. Like, now you caused me to get locked up, so now it's within my right to harm you. Because I truly wasn't doing anything wrong. You just didn't agree with it, and you told the enemy. So when a person tells the enemy on you, you can never trust this person. Let a motherfucker call the cops on you. I'm not saying like you're being a complete fucking idiot swinging on people like you're dangerous and they call the cops. But motherfucker just do some just real petty ignorant shit. You know? Everybody will show you who they are. So it's not for anybody other than the initiated. And that's why I always say only an initiated person can walk into a ritual and they see the inverted pentagram with a naked bitch in the middle fucking fingering herself, and you see 5, 6 dudes standing around her ready to get that work in. Only an initiate will walk into that scene and not see a problem with that. Everybody else is like, what the fuck is this? You get what I'm saying? I'm just giving a raw-ass example, because this is what goes down. People are utilizing that sexual force to do all type of sinisterness. People use that same force to do, things other than sinister as well. It all depends on the magician, on the practitioner. But the initiate can walk into something like that and not feel no type of way. You walk in that bitch, you're like, all right, y'all do y'all. You know what I mean? I'm about to be over here, and I'm gonna cook up my own work. It just is. Motherfuckers having a motherfucking orgy right next to you, and you sleeping like a baby because it don't bother you. But to a religious person, that shit just fucks with not their soul, but their heart. They can't handle reality. So therefore, when they walk into a situation based on reality, they willing to snitch to the enemy. And you don't need that, because you don't want to harm that person. But they doing backwards ass shit, causing you to be harmed. Anyway. This is going to continue to be real. I should listen to that German hip-hop. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, hip-hop is all around the world. Hip-hop is global. So yeah, you may hear some French hip-hop, some German, some Asian hip-hop. I got all of it. I got all of the work. Just to let you know how real this shit is. This is all over the world. This ain't just America. You got this dark core, It's all over the planet. You can go to Asia and meet some Satanists and they fuck with you. Because these are just the people that we consider hip-hop. Hip-hop and Satanism is one and the same. It just is what it is. People may not look at it that way, but that's what it is in terms of principle. It may not be if you in hip-hop you worshiping the devil, but you are a part of that Saturn or satanic energy. There's no way around it. Because in hip-hop, you embody your lower nature, right? You talking about how many bitches you fucking, how much money you making. You talking about your lower self. Not all, but majority of hip-hop is motherfuckers speaking about their lower self, not their higher self, their lower self. But that's what it's supposed to embody, because that is a part of life. Hip-hop just puts in your face the part of life that you try to hide, the part of life that you don't want to accept, that savage nature that is within all of us, that everybody tries to act like it doesn't exist. It does exist. Hip-hop puts it in your face to let you know that it does exist, and it will always exist. So it is for you to utilize it instead of trying to hide from it. That's the whole essence of hip-hop. If you didn't understand that, right? Anyway. Yeah. I actually saw that Afro pic. I saw that on Instagram when you put up the Baphomet. I think it's called an Instagram story. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was definitely wondering, like, yeah, I know motherfuckers gonna smash you for that, but you know, let me put Baphomet on my shit and watch don't nothing happen. That's what I'm saying, right? I can talk about this shit without consequence because motherfuckers know, like, yo, let me not go over here. They not comfortable challenging this real shit. So they not gonna speak. I can say the most devilish shit ever and get away with it. Because what the fuck they gonna do? Like, yo, this motherfucker is rooted. When they see that you're rooted, they can't do anything. But when they see that you're just kind of doing it just to do it, then they start penetrating your armor. But when they can't penetrate your armor, then you can get away with it. You gotta build up your armor. If you really fucking with the Baphomet is encouraging you to build up your armor. Build up your armor. Because that's the only thing that's gonna keep you here long term. That's the only thing that's gonna keep you here long term. Build your armor up. And if you don't want to show forth that, don't show it forth. Keep it hidden. Keep it secret. If you have to. If you have to keep it secret, then keep it secret. You ain't got to tell nobody. You know what I mean? You got that motherfucking Baphomet. You got all type of, blood and shit. You know what I mean? Like women be utilizing their period blood. They bleed into like a golden cup. They stick a knife in that bitch, so that knife is filled with blood dripping, and they put that shit on an altar, activate that knife. Try explaining that shit to an uninitiated. Try explaining that shit. But they can't say it don't work. That shit works, so. I'm just giving y'all some examples. It's the most wicked shit. Even it's motherfuckers. It's motherfuckers who use feces and spit to summon deities. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all got it. Let me change the song. Let me say that again. There are people who use feces and spit. There's a deity that will accept that offering of your feces and your spit and will assist you. Just letting it be known that if you have no materials, as I explained earlier in the video, if you have no materials, you can always tap into the intelligence of spirit. Even if you have to utilize the things that naturally come from your body. Your urine, your semen, your feces, your spit. You can utilize any of that to accomplish whatever it is that you set out to accomplish. You do not need tools if you do not have them. Period. And again, anybody who don't believe me, get yourself an encyclopedia of spirits and look this shit up yourself. Because I know this shit is just, it seems weird, but it's actual fact. Truth is stranger than fiction. If y'all didn't know that by now. Truth is stranger than fiction. Where we at with it? What's up, Ray? What's wrong with Baphomet? Baphomet is reality. That's what's wrong with it. Baphomet is reality. It forces you to deal with reality. And because everybody's in an illusionary plane, they don't want to accept it. So that's the true problem with Baphomet is reality. All right, where we at with it? Yeah, as above, so below. So that's what people don't really understand. Like it goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than as above, so below. Right? It goes deeper than this. There's a reason why these two fingers are utilized. See, again, I take y'all deeper because people don't talk about this shit because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Why is it these two fingers? Pointing up and pointing down. Why isn't it these two? Or these two? Why is it these two? Why is it Jupiter and Saturn? Your Jupiter finger, your index is your Jupiter. Your middle finger is your Saturn finger. That fuck you finger, that's Saturn. That's why you do this to anybody, it's causing a problem. You stick the middle finger up to anybody, they want to feel a certain type of way. That's the energy of Saturn. Saturn, if you put up this finger, this finger, this finger, this finger, everything else is like, okay, you, that thumb up, no problem. One, that's no problem. No problem, no problem. You put this up, this is Saturn. This is a problem. This is reality. Like, fuck you. That is a reality. Motherfuckers have a hard time accepting y'all. The reason is to Jupiter, Saturn. What is Jupiter about? Expansion. What is Saturn about? Principles. The expansion of your principles. That's what Baphomet is. Expansion of your principles on the light side and the dark side. The light principles and the dark principles. So understand that they have their own realities. They operate, the light does not operate the same as the dark. The dark does not operate the same as the light. The quantum world reality is different than the illusionary world. The illusionary world is a 3D world that we exist in. The quantum world is a reality that we don't see, but still exists. And they have their own rules and regulations. So the expansion of your principles, of your mathematics, expansion of mathematics, expansion of principles, expansion of your longevity, which is all based on your mathematics. That's why it's Jupiter and Saturn connected. So that's what I mean by it's deeper than as above, so below. Nobody's talking about the planetary energy and the fingers. But I talk about that shit. So y'all judge on who's the realest and who isn't, just based off of information, not how you look, not how many videos, but who's saying the realest shit. And y'all do your own judgment and say who's spewing shit that you never heard before. Because I've explored places that I've never seen nobody else. I've been in places that you don't see nobody else here. Doing rituals and shit, you don't see nobody else here. Right? Again, I was just saying that shit when I went to Devil's Gate Down, right? With the Devil's Face. I didn't see nobody else there. I'm the only one there. Nobody else is there. So I just know things that other people don't know because they're not there. They're not putting in that type of work on the ground, doing that root magic, working with the roots. They're not there. That's the difference. What's going on, man?
Help, Uncle.
You need help?
Yes. Help, Uncle. I'm broken.
You broke it? So he needs help. So you gotta tend to the child.
Help.
One.